How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to another Behind the Blade. This is episode 15, would you believe it? So it's Friday. I've already had my morning's networking meeting. I was up at 5:30, there for 6, and we have had a wonderful networking meeting with over 40 other professionals, and we've all dedicated some time in order to educate the local business community in what we do. Anyway, so I've got a really busy day. It might be a good insight to how to approach new meetings or new contracts, and make sure you stay tuned for that. I've currently just had a meeting with a new contract that's been signed. It's just a playing field. It's a really great little contract for us because it's on the way into our service area and it's a job for the tractor. Just had a meeting with the facilities manager and the parish councillor, and it all went very, very well. It was good to have some great feedback from the tendering process and how we stood out. So shall we jump out the truck and just show you what we're going to be doing for next year? So as I said, today is pretty much all meetings for myself. A bit of a mixture of contracts that I've won, just getting in front of the customer and showing my face, and some walk rounds with some parish councillors in order to go through the detailed scope of works so we can provide a quote and then get a tender pack sent to them as soon as possible. Anyway, right, let's show you what we're working with. So it's a real nice little one. It's literally just a playing field. We've obviously got 3 boundary hedges that will need flailing or cutting twice a year. Little play area that we've got to maintain, and then all of this grass, which is obviously nice and straightforward. It's great for us because it's on our route into our main service area, which means I've been able to keep the cost low and travel time low because we're on the way to another contract, and we'll be able to do this on the way, which is fantastic for the team. Makes things really easy. Get a tractor in here, probably about 30-40 minutes worth of work. If you can find little contracts like this, now sometimes obviously you have to include travel time and things like that, but we know that we've got guaranteed work from contracts just down the road, so we can mitigate some of those travel costs for smaller jobs like this because we can do them on the way. Obviously we've got the risk of those other contracts either going bust or losing them. However, we have got a good service base just up the road, so we'll always be doing this passing through, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, really happy with this one, and excited to bring more tractor content for you lot in the coming year. And as I said, it was really good to get some feedback from CUTCREW's tendering process. Some of the clear stuff that helped us win is we weren't the cheapest, however we were apparently extremely efficient in communicating, and we managed to give them all the information at once. And at the beginning we gave them a tender pack with all our qualifications, an example of a RAMS method statement that we produce, all our insurance certificates, and it just made the process easier for them, and that made us stood out. So that, make sure that you're organised and get tender packs set up ready to send to your new potential clients. So I've got about 20 minutes of travelling now. I don't have a meeting with a person, but I've got a tender pack and a scope of work, so I've just got to drive round and take a look, get boots on the ground so I can get some quotes in. Ash is out today. He's had a commercial tidy this morning. He's then got a school to line mark and do a commercial tidy. He's then got finding Volta's football pitches to mark up, and then we need to get some supplies for tomorrow, so he's got a busy day. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get over to the next one and I'll show you a little bit of a walk around and what I'm thinking. Oh wow, what a day. I've just been bouncing. Oh my god, I look terrible. I need a shave. I've had one of those days where I've just been bouncing from meeting to meeting, 2 of which were with parish councils that have given us the green light for next year, so just running over some final details, letting them know how we operate and what to expect from a service from CUTCREW, which was great. 3 of them were me visiting site, just getting boots on the ground, making sure I can see what I'm quoting, writing some notes and cracking on with it. If you do want kind of like an in-depth video on how to read a scope of works and put together a quote from that, I'm happy to do one, more than happy to share that. Just let me know in the comments, or if there's anything else that you want to kind of know about breaking into commercial sector, again, just leave a comment and I'll make sure we answer your questions. But yeah, I've got a bit of news for you. So yeah, a couple of comments from episode 14. Where's the Find and Volta hat? It's here, pride and place in the pickup truck. only comes out in dry clean situations. So yeah, still got that, still repping Find and Volta, so massive shout out to them. I just want to give a massive shout out to Curtis from CJ Garden Services. I'll be pinging £100 to him today. He guessed correctly what happened in last week's video that I asked you lot to guess for £100, and he's quite nobly said that he will donate half of his money to a mental health charity, but I told him no, £100 to you and I'll donate 50 quid to Mind, the mental health charity. So well done, Curtis. He guessed correctly. Basically, Ash said, have you ever rolled a tipper before? I said no. Next thing you know, hit a sinkhole on the roller, flipped myself over, roller landed on my foot. Bit of a mad panic from Ash to run over and try and get the roller up. I was like, hey up kids, wait a second, turn the roller off, we're wasting diesel here. And then yeah, luckily Ash managed to use some super strength, managed to lift the roller up a little bit, just enough for me to get the lower half of my leg up, completely crushed my foot, but I managed to strap it up and crack on. Really happy that Ash went on the roller and he didn't hurt himself. But yeah, first time I've ever had an incident like that. Obviously went straight in the accident book for all the health and safety nuts out there. But yeah, it was all right, to be fair. We managed to get it back up with a 3-ton digger. But yeah, so Curtis guessed correctly. There was a couple of clues in the video, and if you watch the video back you'll recognize them, but well done mate. I'm now gonna head back home. Got lots and lots of computer work to get on with. Morning.
Morning.
You right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the school. It's Saturday morning. We left at about 7 o'clock. And if you remember in episode 13, you'll remember that we saw the field had been destroyed by some other contractors. So we're here to repair that today. And whilst we're here, what we'll do is just do all the line marking if we can, and any site maintenance, blowing up, weeding and things like that. So this should be fairly straightforward. What we plan on doing is just opening up the back of the trailer, pitting that to tip, driving forward, tipping what we need down, then we can level it out and roll it. And then hopefully when the temperatures start rising, we'll be able to seed it, but at least it will be safe for now. We've decided that it's easier, rather than tip it, just drive the truck forward over the area and just fill it up as we go. Just work in sections. Yep! Wonderful stuff. So then we'll break down this edge again and then fill it all back in. Right, just getting Ash to tip the rest of that material to the bottom of the trailer. Done that bit there, that little bit there to go, and there's a big divot there and there. But yeah, just try and move this material to the bottom so it's closer to us. Work smart, not hard. We can leave it up and then just fling it from there. Happy days. Last little bit, just move the Ranger. Got a little section there and that bit there and we're good to go. Now I need to make a decision what's going on with these sports fields. Obviously it's mega frosty. Is it worthwhile marking it? Do we come back next week? Yeah. I'm going to make an executive decision to come back next week, I think. I'm not going to tell Ash yet because that means that he'll know that he's got an early Saturday, which is always nice. And I appreciate him coming in on a Saturday to help me with this. But yeah, I can't imagine they'll be using the field on Monday because it's minuses. We're back at this school anyway next week doing a flailing job. So yeah, let's get that topsoil done and then I'll let him know the good news. We've got a surprise for you. Have you ever done an initial mark on a rugby before without a robot?
Do you know what we'll do? Come back next week when it ain't frosty, we're alright.
Do you know what? That's what I've already told the viewers, and I wanted to surprise you.
Hey!
There we have it. We've had a little discussion. We've got football pitches in Milton Keynes to line mark anyway next week, so we might as well just hold out for the better weather. Obviously we've got the chances of the paint not sticking when it thaws out and things like that, so it's just not worth it. And it's Saturday. I'm sure Ash has got plans on a Saturday that we can get him back to. Hey, Monday morning, we're back at that driveway job, just waiting for the gravel to turn up. Digger is warming up, and so are we. Gonna cut the camera now, find out if Ash has had a good weekend. So Ash,
Yo.
bit of interrogation.
Okay.
How are you related to Curtis and how did he guess it straight away?
I rang him.
We still cannot get over that Curtis guessed the roller situation pretty much straight away. He was the first person to comment about it. Yeah, incredible. It's nearly 9 o'clock and we've still not got a truck from JW. Spoken to them. They called me, which is fantastic of them. Just let them know that they've had an issue with one of their grabs. I said, send it on a tipper. We've got loads of room for a tipper and it doesn't need to be grabbed. So yeah, happy days. They're on their way. Digger's all warmed up, ready to go. So pretty much as soon as the gravel gets here, we're good to go. Okay, I've got a meeting at 10 and it's nearly 20 to 10. Still not had an aggregate delivery. This is probably one of the reasons why we stopped landscaping and groundworks, even like as optional extra jobs, just because you can plan nothing. So yeah, it's obviously not JW's Clark that they've had a lorry go down. It's not our fault, but it definitely impacts the week. Anyway, I'm going to run to the meeting now and report back when I get back. Okay, meeting is done just at a local primary school and I've just had a little chat with Ash. The delivery has been delivered and he's started to spread that gravel, so let's get back and see what's going on. How are we getting on, Mr. Howard?
Good.
Got a delivery.
Just spread it.
Spread it out.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So what we're going to do is just whack that blade down on the front, get a good level on it, drive forward and try and move some of that stone about. Right, so we're getting there. I've done this little bit here and basically I'm creating lanes. It's really hard to explain, but when I'm sat in a cab, I'm basically staring down here and round the other side and I'm looking at the bottom of the blade just to see when the material is exposed, the sub base underneath, and I'll just lift it up a little bit and that'll give me a nice even coating of around 20 to 30 mil, which is exactly what we want. And if you do want to learn how to use a digger, then I have done a video on it. As you can see, it's a very good video. It explains Billy basics on how to operate an excavator, or just drop us a message and I'll try explain what I can. But Ash seems to think I'm very good on a digger, so yeah, must be doing all right. Anyway, we're going to crack on with this. We've got some other bits and bobs to do and we'll update you in a second. We are getting there. As you can see, it just takes a lot of grading, having to go back and forth with the blade. We've still got a massive pile there that all needs shifting back and that'll fill that top bit, but there's a lot of material. When we first got it on the ground, we weren't sure if we had enough, but always stick by your calculations. We've only got a little bit more that we've got to fill up, as you can just see there, and we got some big old piles. So once we've moved those piles, we should be able to grade it really well. But at the minute, we've just done it roughly, and as you can see, some areas are mega deep still. I mean, that's a big old depth there. So once we get it spread across, we should be fine. I mean, ideally, we was just saying to Ash, if we had 3 piles, we'd probably been done by now. However, we can't muck a tipper driver about saying,
no, can you just put a pile here and a pile there?
It's not on really, is it? So yeah, I mean, we're here all day, so it doesn't matter too much. I say I'm here all day, but tonight I'm on Sam J Rock's podcast, the Green Industry podcast. So by the time this comes out, I think his podcast get released on Saturday. So make sure you're subscribed to our Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll share across that link to everyone. There we have it. Got some little bits on the edge that we're just going to grab now with a hand rake, because it will make more mess than we actually need with the digger, if that made any sense at all. Basically, it's easier to do it by hand. But yeah, it's not took too long. We definitely had enough gravel. So well done to Ollie at JW Clark. You're obviously a calculator wizard. But yeah, mega happy. It looks a lot better now. There's some gravel on it. So yeah, let's just quickly finish off the edges. Right, happy days. We've done all the edging bits now. It's all nicely graded out. It looks 100 times better than just the sod base, so yeah, mega happy. It's turned out real nice and level. Yeah, perfect amount of gravel, so happy days. You'll be seeing this property more because we've got loads of little projects to do here on behalf of the client, and we are going to pop back tomorrow and just tidy up this area here with the hedge cutters and some weed suppressant. Just going to notify the customer now that the driveway's done, let him know that we've tested it with a 44 ton tipper, so nothing to worry about there. As I said, for the rest of the day I've got a few tender packs to write, and then I'm on Jay's podcast tonight, so yeah, exciting stuff. Rest of the week is just going to be maintenance based stuff. Don't think any other little ad hoc projects are going to crop up this week, but there is space in the diary should it need to, with any emergency stuff such as gritting or any tree works or hedging. But yeah, I definitely need to get hold of some branded coats. Also need to try and speak to our clothing supplier to get some fresh high-vis ready for next year for all the new contracts, which reminds me I've also got RAMs and method statements to write for all of them as well. But yeah, not a bad job. I'm so happy that the customer decided to add gravel onto it. It just makes the project feel more complete, so yeah, happy days. Right, let's go see our ashes. What's there left to do then here?
Tidy the edge.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're coming back tomorrow to do that. There's one crucial thing that we haven't done. Probably the most important thing we've not done.
Test it.
Yeah! Jump in that pickup, boy. We have officially signed off this car park.
Beautiful.
Passed the test?
Yeah.
Flying colours. Happy days. That's Monday done with.
All done.
Happy days.
Home time.
Well, the benefits of podcasts are that I can dress like rubbish and get away with it. I'm just waiting to go on Sam's podcast now. I'll try and grab a few sneaky clips of it, but it will be out on Saturday. Morning people, it's 6:15. I just travelled in from home. So as you know, I'm part of BNI. I'll explain a little bit later on, but basically I'm visiting at another BNI chapter in my region this morning, trying to help out for someone that needed a substitute. Had a mega great time on Sam J. Rock's podcast, the Green Industry podcast. One thing I would say is no matter how much experience you've got within the industry, definitely hit Sam up and try and get yourself on the podcast, even if it's pushing yourself out your comfort zone. I found it really helpful, even just explaining kind of how we've got to this point, sparked conversations with myself and made me realise kind of where we need to be going forward and things like that. So yeah, a massive shout out to Sam. Again, I'll be sharing the links for that podcast when it comes out on Saturday. But yeah, let's get in and do some breakfast networking.
Somebody's dream referral, and you might know them. So just...
Whoa, right, it's 9 o'clock. I've just had my networking meeting. Still not managed to have a shave. That is going to happen tonight. I'm going to make sure of it. But yeah, so basically every region has different chapters and you're only allowed to be a member of one chapter. However, you're allowed to visit the other chapters in the region, and doing this obviously broadcasts our brand across the region and we can build some relationships with other people in the area. It was funny because this morning I felt like I had a lot to bring to this group, so there was quite a few people looking for sports clubs and stuff, and obviously got connections with them. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a couple of people in the room that have got connections for us, so it's all about givers gain, sharing business. If I give them business, they're more likely to want to help me and things like that. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get to site and see how Ash is. Got a commercial tidy this morning, and then we're back at the gravel job just to tidy up this afternoon. It was meant to be the other way around, but I swapped it around because I got told last minute about the substitute at this venue. But yeah, let's get cracking. Right, we're on site. Ash is already here. Let's see how he is. Morning.
Spraying with a slushy.
You got slushy, mate? You're selling it to all the kids? Bloody hell, there's a bit of litter today, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
I'll let him finish off what he's doing and then we'll have a little catch up. But yeah, this site's pretty much had its hard cutbacks already, so we're just pretty much waiting to get on top of the grass when we can, and keeping on top of the weed control. But yeah. Just walking around with the mobile slushy machine. So hopefully this week we're going to be filming and releasing a video, and that video is basically going to have all our equipment, the ins and outs on how we purchased it, basically a massive overview about what CUTCREW Limited have, why we picked that equipment, and also how we purchased it or retained it or whatever. So yeah, so if you are interested to see more in depth about what equipment we do have, that video hopefully will be dropping on Saturday. We're in that period of time where we're pretty much on top of everything, so this site has just basically been a quick spray up and a blow, which is nice. Just gonna upload it to our app now, get that sent across, get a report sent to the customer, and then we'll head over back to the gravel job and tidy up there. Hopefully the ground's thawed out a little bit and we can tidy that place up and it'll be good to go. Oh god, little bit annoyed, but just gonna jump in a truck and warm it up and I'll explain myself. So I've just had 2 phone calls in a very short space of time that just kind of blew my mind a little bit. One of them was a tender application that we put in. I asked for feedback. We didn't get awarded the tender, which is fine, but it's always good practice just to ask for some feedback so you know where you fell short. So if you're not aware of the tendering process, then each element has weighting or a percentage, if that makes sense, towards whether that contractor was going to be awarded that site. Anyway, we won on the costings, which is great, but we fell short by unanimous decision on the health and safety elements. Now there's certain criteria that you have to match, and it was all very, very, very basic stuff. So supply RAM statements and things like that. I had a conversation with them and they basically wanted a health and safety statement putting in for their town, and I said, look, here's an example, because we only create bespoke RAM statements for clients of ours. I think Scott Elwood's talked about this on some of his videos and on J-Rock's podcast, but basically we're not going to go out of our way either spending money to create a RAMs or the time to do that in order to submit for a tender. And they've basically said that no, they wanted a bespoke one for evaluation for the tender, which is fine. It just feels like they just wanted to pass it to their old contractor anyway, but I just thought I'd share that information with you. And the second phone call straight from that one, where I'm like, what's going on? So we've got it in our terms and conditions. Again, I spoke about this last night on J-Rock's podcast, which is interesting to see that it's now come into effect on this working week. So we've got it put into our terms and conditions that a client has to give us 3 months notice to move on, and we've got to give a client 3 months notice to move on. Just had a phone call. We've got a temporary contract with a school, a 6-month contract, and they've just said, by the way, next week's your last visit because we're going to be opening up our tendering process. Absolutely fine. However, you're meant to give us 3 months notice. Now, that's not the way we work. We don't like to be bullshit. Obviously, we've got to remember that we are part of that tendering process as well, so we've just got to take those hits as they come. But a week's notice is a little bit cheeky, I'm not gonna lie, especially as we're planning kind of 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance. But yeah, hopefully we go through that tendering process and retain that work, but we shall see. But yeah, kind of 2 phone calls that just kind of blew my mind within a space of 10 minutes. Now we're going to head over to the gravel job. We're all done here. Ash is just uploading it to the app. Head over to the gravel job and finish off the bits there.
It's not happening, but who knows?
Yeah.
Right, all fueled up, got some screen rush, we're good to go. That's why I love Ash. He noticed that I was on the phone and he ran over and started fueling up the truck for us. So teamwork makes the dream work, but we are now both on our way over to the job. That was a productive drive, lots and lots of phone calls, sorting stuff out. We're now on site. So the plan of attack is just to tidy up this side here. Again, it weren't actually involved in the project, but there's lots more work that can be done here. So just trying to help the customer out a little bit and tidy the place up, and then yeah, we'll be back to the unit filming some content for this week. But yeah, let's get this smashed out and get out of here. Bit of a strange day. We've not even started to tidy that left hand side yet. I've kind of been stuck on the phone calling people under the trust of schools that I mentioned earlier. the one that gave us really short notice for the contract. I approached the national facilities manager that we deal with and just said kind of where does that put us with the other schools. So I've got a meeting with him tomorrow. So yeah, just try not to think about it and soldier on. It will all come out in the wash and we'll know more about it tomorrow, but it's just stressful just trying to, because obviously we're trying to budget for the year and things like that, so to enable us to kind of have a vision of how much staff we need and things like that. Obviously grass cutting's just around the corner, so to get this news now, it's better to have it in March, but still you just got to try and negotiate, and sometimes things can get misconcepted over email, so jump on a call and just try and sort it out, I guess. I feel mega sorry for Ash because I've just literally been on the phone trying to sort stuff out. He's nearly done tidying up that side. I need to wait for the client to come back so I can have a walk round with him and just explain what's gone on. It's Ash's partner's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to send him off in a minute so he can go get some birthday presents. He doesn't know that yet. And then we're going to meet back up at the unit and hopefully film some content if we've still got light. But yeah, for now, let's de-stress. That's probably first time I've kicked a ball since I was about 13. So if Matt Bloomfield is watching this, please do not judge me. Work boots flex, here we go. Oh, beauty. I'm genuinely quite impressed with that. I was more of a boxer than a footballer, but this crossbar challenge malarkey's easy, isn't it? One of our clients is a professional footballer, so I might ask him if he can sort me out of the contract, if I'm honest with you. Okay, so Ash is just finishing them up. I'm just going to send him on his way in a minute to go sort out his partner's gifts. Some good stuff has happened this afternoon, although I've not had my head in work, which I apologise to Ash for. I've managed to mitigate lots of situations. So the situation with the trust of school, turns out there's a certain school that we don't maintain within that trust that are having issues. Some wires got crossed. I've planned a meeting for tomorrow just to smooth over and point out to the guy that's never met us before, these are the schools we do, these are relationships that we have with them, and hopefully they'll be able to see the quality and the service that we do provide to them. But until we get in front of them, and they can put a face to a name, and hopefully we can smooth it over. But it's all just part of it. Sometimes I think I've definitely got to learn to just take a step back sometimes. Sometimes I get something in my head and I just go running with it, and also think of the worst before the better. I could see this as an opportunity to tie all the schools in, or I can go into protection mode and protect the work that we already have. Anyway, enough of that ranting. Let's get tidied up and get Ash on his way. Right, I've just had my meeting with the client. Everything is all good. There are a few things that we couldn't achieve due to the weather. We probably could have, but we would have made more of a mess. So he's got a few tree roots that need coming out and some hedge tidies. Again, we could have done the hedge tidies, but he's happy for us to book that in within the next couple of weeks. So we will be back there soon. I'm now on my way to unit. I've just catched up with Ash. He's in town at the minute getting his presents. Right, me and Ash have just knocked out a video for the weekend, which is an overview of all our kit and equipment explained in detail. So yeah, make sure you get that. But yeah, I think it's around 3 o'clock. We're all done for the day and ready to go home. We shall see you tomorrow. Morning. 7 o'clock Wednesday, we are on the way to the first site. Right, we're on site on the school. Ash is just signing in now, then we'll get on the field. By the looks of it, the car park's mega icy, so don't know what the grass is going to look like, but we're going to have to get the line marking done today. Anyway, so we'll have to soldier on. And then, yeah, any weed spraying that needs doing, we'll run around the site. All the hedge work's fine here. We know that because we checked it when we was here on Saturday, but yeah, we'll crack on. So this is the first time this has ever happened, but basically the kids come in around 15 to 20 minutes and all the teachers are already out prior, and they're basically saying that we can't drive through. So we're going to go to another site, get that done, and then either come back today or come back later on in the week. We're here Friday anyway, actually, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just had a chat with the facilities guy and he's just like banging his head on the desk. It's quite funny actually, but we've come to the conclusion we're back here Friday anyway, so we'll get the other bits done in Milton Keynes. And yeah, literally nearly died. It's like a black ice ring. Look. Happy days, we're on site. We can still see the markings from last time. I think Ash is prepping a line marker now. We'll take it in turns, do a pitch at a time. We've not brought the robot with us today. There's slight moisture in the air, so it doesn't stand a chance, does it? The ground is lethal today. There's black ice everywhere. Whew. I'm gonna have to double coat it today as well. This place always gets hit by a rush of wind and it is cold today, so gonna double coat it. So a couple of weeks ago we lost a pin to the line marker, and it's been one of those things that's been like it for a couple of weeks. And then Ash opened the back of the van up the other day and literally found it on the back, so we can repair that now. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
You broke it, you fixed it. Right, so we've already come to the conclusion that today has been messed about already. And what did you just say?
The only thing that could go wrong,
And what's that?
falling over.
Right, brilliant. Thank you. So now basically Ash has manifested that one of us is going to break over, probably break our necks and never be at work ever again in our lives. But we're all set up, ready to go, just waiting for the paint to mix in the tank and we'll get some lines down. Good to go. So now we'll just walk round together, have a little chat, take it in turns to mark pitches up, and we'll be done. We're having real issues because the ground's hard. I'm not in the position to keep rescheduling stuff around the weather because we've got a lot stacked up, so we're just gonna have to take our time with it. Obviously we couldn't get into the school this morning, so we'll just have to take our time, make it work, and yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. That's the speed we're having to go to try and keep it as straight as we can. Having to keep all the weight on the front of the machine, basically lift the back wheels up, and it's not perfect, but it's a lot better because the ground's so hard. I'll just speak to the facilities manager of the club and let him know that I will be on standby on Saturdays, so if the ref has got any dramas with a pitch, we'll be here ready to come sort it out. But yes, one of those things. That's not too bad. It's not our best work, but it's the best we can do in these conditions. There's obviously other pieces of machinery that would enable us to have pitch perfect lines all the time, but they don't work in this weather. So because we're walking so slow, we're using a lot of paint, so another refill and we'll get back to it. He's got the hang of it now, I reckon. So this really angers me. This is a football pitch and it's owned by the football club, and they kindly let people walk on it. Yeah, right in the goalie box. This must have just happened because it's literally fresh, but nice bit of poo there. Right, we're battling on. We're over at the other side now, just starting the first pitch. I've got a meeting at 11 with the regional facilities manager for the schools. So yeah, we'll see what's going on and let you guys know. We're getting there. We've only got, I think, 2 pitches and then a small 7v7 to mark. Just walking back to the van now, going to warm the van up. Don't know how long this meeting on the phone is going to take. So yeah, get comfy and get ready to talk about the future. Okay, the meeting didn't go too bad at all, so we can stop worrying about things. The organisation's changing, the trust is growing and certain things are happening. So yeah, I'm just going to bide my time, and obviously we're going to have to look at marketing and things like that just to ensure that we're still getting our name out there, just in case we do, you know, lose the business. But it is just business and we can move on from it. We're in a good place for next year, so carry on and move on. We have just had a little issue with the pipe freezing on the line marker. We need to grab some more water. We've got one small pitch to finish, and then yeah, woo, last pitch, we're back. Let's do this. I'm so sorry I've got to do this. Can you just explain what you just said? Please, please,
No.
please. What vision have you got?
50-50.
You got 50. Oh, the moment where I break the news that it was 2020 vision. Ooh. Oh, we do have fun. Right, we're all done here. We're now going to go to a tidy, a residential tidy. We couldn't do much there last week because the leaves were literally frozen to the ground. So hopefully this week we'll have better luck. Definitely doable today. There's no frost on the ground, so yeah, we'll crack on. Okay, we're about there. All of the lawns are all blowed up. There's a few more leaves we're just going to grab now, but it's all looking very good. Ready to start the mowing season. I've got rid of most of the debris and litter on the lawns as well today. So yeah, the drive is looking good. The lawns are looking good. Happy days, we're all sorted. We're going to head back now. It's Thursday, the last day of Behind the Blade. We're outside Mowing because we're borrowing a walk behind FLAIL today. Well, hiring it anyway. We've got a FLAIL job over in Milton Keynes, so we'll wait for Mowing to arrive, get the FLAIL on board and get heading down. All good to go. Let's get on the road. Seems like a slow morning this morning. It's 9 o'clock. We've only just grabbed fuel for the Ferris. Tried to get screen wash. No one's got screen wash. One of those days. But yeah, we're getting there. We're going to be at the school in 20 minutes. So yeah, happy days. Finally here. The traffic was awful. But yeah, we'll get the Ferris off and get going. Right, we're pretty much good to go. So we've got one large bank here to FLAIL. There's one over there and another one on the other side of the school, so we just need to get all this sorted with a Ferris. Probably a few bits we'll have to trim because it's really steep, and then yeah, all the line marking and all the regular site work. But yeah, let's crack on. That Ferris is making really light work of this bank. Absolutely loving it. Ash is just trimming up the little bits. We're going to swap over. He'll probably do the other bank after I finish this one. But yeah, we've only been on it about 10 minutes and we've already made about 5 passes, probably 30% down. So really happy with that bit of kit. There's a few bits that we'll have to go over, but all in all, that Ferris walk behind FLAIL is amazing. Right, bank 1 is complete. Ash is just finishing off the final details and we're going to go across to the second bank and let him loose on that one. Right, we've got one last bank to do, which is that. Ash is going to run off and do the line marking. I'm going to finish this bank, then happy days. There we have it, we're all done. I'm going to get this on the trailer, then see how Ash is getting on with the line marking. How are you getting on, boy?
All good.
All good, thanks are done. Once the pictures are done, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Right, I've just smashed out an 11v11. Got some grids left, that's it. And then we're done. The Ferris is on the trailer, good to go. So once these grids are done, all we got to do, upload our after photos to the app, sign out and get this FLAIL back to Mowing Man. See if we can clean it up if he's got a jet wash. If not, we'll have to run it back to our yard. But yeah, clean her up, we're sorted. Smile. Right, we're all signed out, packed up, ready to go. One thing I would like to ask you is Thursday a good day for these videos, or would you prefer a Sunday? Let us know in the comments. It doesn't really affect us because I try and edit videos daily, but it's just what you subscribers would prefer. So yeah, we're all done here and we'll see you in the next episode of Behind the Blade. You can click here to go to our website, here to subscribe, here to watch our last video, or here to watch a video that YouTube thinks you might like. That beautiful bank.